Good Friday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith with our winter storm video forecast discussion for this Friday, the 29th of January, 2021. We'll start off with the current temperatures as of shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. Let's see if this refreshes a little bit. This may not. Temperatures right now are in the single digits across the northern portions of northern New Jersey and the low and mid-teens to low 20s just about everywhere else. The wind chills this morning are howling. I heard something crackle and pop outside. Probably wasn't a power line, but something was being tossed around. This is the current wind chill right now. It feels like it's in the single digits here. In some areas it feels like it's -10, like in northern Sussex County, and in portions of Bergen County too. It feels like it's well below zero because the winds are howling. Wind speeds right now as of the 8 o'clock hour here, if we pop this up at 8:17, winds are still in the teens and 20s here, so it's quite brisk outside. And the wind gust, if we'll freshen up this page too, the wind gusts are coming in basically in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range across the region. Impressive. Temperature minimums this morning in the single digits here in Sussex County and the low to mid-teens to low 20s just about everywhere else. Frigid. And by the way, this is the kind of air that brings frostbite. Parts of northern New Jersey and the lower Hudson Valley area, including northeastern New Jersey into New York City and Connecticut, there is a wind chill advisory in effect until 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's not a wind chill advisory, that's a wind advisory in effect, and this is for all of Fairfield County and southern Connecticut, western Passaic County, Orange, Putnam, Rockland, New York City's Manhattan, Kings, Brooklyn, Nassau, southern Queens, until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Winds out of the northwest at 20 to 30 miles an hour, gust up to 50. Northeast Jersey, southern Connecticut, and southeast New York until 4 o'clock. Gusty winds blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs should be blown down, and a few power outages may result. I didn't see any power outages yet, but we'll take a look. From NewJerseyProjects.com data outage tracker, here across New Jersey, we do have some outages here. Up in Bergen County, there's a few outages here. Then over Jersey City, we have 68 people without power. Here in Perth Amboy, 104 are without power this morning. Sayreville Borough, about 16. Here in Wall Township, 102. In Camden, 1,112 are without power this morning. And right now in Brigantine, 1,126 are without power. Here in Hopewell Township, 616. And in other areas like Greenwich Township, 37. And if we move this into Bridgeton, about 22 without power this morning with those howling winds. Here comes our storm system here into California, bringing rain, flooding. There's been mudslides, all kinds of stuff going on here. Here's our upslope flow here. This is our atmospheric river here. In the atmosphere, we call this an atmospheric river of water vapor and water energy traveling into the southwestern United States. Here's our new storm system. Upper level low closing off here south of the Aleutian Islands, another storm system here, and this frontal system approaching from here, from this low here and this low here. So we've got multiple storms coming in to the west coast, but the first is with our atmospheric river right here. Goes east, low level water vapor channel. It shows our atmospheric river coming into the desert southwest and into portions of California and Nevada and Idaho. And this is our new storm system, which will be here by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. Here's our big ocean storm here causing this tight pressure gradient here. And that's the reason why we have the strong winds here. And this will become a 50-50 low. And we have blocking over the top here with a ridge access over Newfoundland, actually over Greenland. And here's a new storm system again, which we discussed south of the Aleutian Islands, coming into the British Columbia area eventually and into the west coast too. So this storm system is going to kick this one out here and then somewhere here as we get to Sunday and Monday, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Lots of dry sinking air here from the Carolinas all the way down to the Gulf and into Mexico. Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale analysis shows our new storm system getting in here into Nevada, portions of California with an upslope flow, lots of rain and some snow in the higher elevations, and that's causing a lot of flash flooding concerns where watches and warnings are in effect across this entire area. Here's high pressure now over stretching down from Hudson's Bay, Canada, all the way down through almost the Ohio River Valley area and into the Gulf regions here. Here's our storm system well off the east coast now, and then our tight pressure gradient with very strong west to northwest flow, which will eventually abate as the system pulls away and high pressure begins to build in. But don't you worry, don't you fear. There is a storm coming near. Okay, let's take a look at the thermodynamics. Let's do observations first. If we can do, what do we want to do? We can see this nicely on Doppler radar across California, into Nevada, parts of Idaho here, and into the Intermountain Rockies here. There's a lot of flash flooding going on in this area here, and this is our storm system that will be here on Sunday through Tuesday. National warnings today up in the Sierra Nevadas here and into the inner mountain areas here in California is a winter storm warning, and there's flash flooding going on here from San Diego south, probably San Francisco south to San Diego. Into the Rockies we go. We have winter weather advisories and also some winter storm warnings here in portions of Nevada and Idaho as well. Down here in New Mexico, also the winter weather advisories extend into portions of Arizona as well, and into Idaho. We mentioned that already. And in northern Florida, we have high wind watch. Here in the Central Plains, we have dense fog advisory, dense fog advisory. And here in the blue, well, that's winter storm watches here. And of course, in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, I-95 corridor, high wind warning, high wind watch, wind advisory, high wind warning rather, and then a wind advisory, which will eventually expire by 4 o'clock today. Rough day ahead, though. If you're outside, frostbite could occur if you're not bundled up properly. Take a look at the European model guidance ZPS ensemble mean low pressure centers. What's changed overnight from the guidance is that the track of the storm is now further south and the clustering is further away from the benchmark here, but that's last night's run, so obviously its solution on the operational run is going to be quite different than it is, and probably I would discount this because even the GFS did this too, but to some lesser degree. And as of this morning, we have the GEFS ensemble mean. So this is coming in, and the clustering again is near the benchmark here as we head into 6Z. That would be February 2nd, actually, Monday night, early Tuesday morning. So it's still within the benchmark here. It's a little further north than the European model guidance. So this solution, the GFS solution, has the same output of snow that the European model guidance had yesterday, and now the European model guidance is further south across, let's say, Washington, D.C., southern New Jersey, the coastline here, and then out. But I would discount all of this to be verbatim at this point, because we're now getting the new storm system coming into the west coast, and that storm system will be able to be sampled by RAOB balloon data and ingested into the forecast models as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours, and we should have a much better handle of precipitation type and amounts as we head into the next 24 to 36 hours. Taking a look at our teleconnections here, the North Atlantic Oscillation off the 0Z data here, all models here. We're basically still in the tank, but rising a little bit as we head towards this storm system on February 1st through the 2nd here. And then we're still in the negative here, extremely negative, as we head into, on the GFS model guidance here, on the NCEP GFS, the operational here, and to some extent even the ensemble mean here from in the circled red here, open circled red dots here. So we know that that's not really going to change. The Arctic oscillation on all model guidance here is basically still in the tank, but rising. Should probably see some kind of a change going on here after the middle part of February. EPO, where are you? with all that activity heading into the Aleutian Islands and still that wave train here, the EPO is negative to slightly neutral here for the February 1st through 3rd storm here on the East Coast, which looks good. Most of the rest of the members here are looking good for something to happen here again before we break out of this pattern somewhere around the middle of February or so, maybe Valentine's Day, maybe slightly after. But I wouldn't trust this data too much at this point going past this mark here. The Arctic ice oscillation, if we can pull this up, did it come in? No. Do we have that? No. Do we have yesterday's? No. So let's do the PNA. Once again, here's our window for that storm, with the PNA going positive here with the ridge axis over somewhere over Montana or the Central Plains here. We discussed this in last night's video, how it's not really too great in amplitude here, but it does provide us with that chance for an East Coast storm. And then the GFS model wants to do this again, while the rest of the ensembles and the rest of the other models say no. But looks like something may pop here by 15th of February again in this pattern, but this is our chance right in here. This is a prime example why you don't want to flip-flop and forecast this far out. This was last night's run of the GFS, of the European model guidance for snow, and it flip-flopped from its earlier run in yesterday morning, where it's seeing Washington, D.C., the Virginias, Delaware, southern New Jersey, and the coastline getting the heavy snow with a sharp cutoff here in northwestern New Jersey, and that doesn't really make sense. And neither does the 500 millibar pattern, which we discussed yesterday. The 700 millibar omega doesn't make complete sense to me, and the ridge axis with the PNA over the plains doesn't make complete sense to me too. So I'm going to discount this one. Go back to the 12Z data, which was yesterday morning. This is what we showed. Again, the possibility is here. And if I moved away from this model guidance for snowfall and moved into the EPS, well, this would be the latest on the EPS from last night's model run. So there's good continuity here that the European model guidance and the EPS model guidance is showing the heavier snow down south because it shifted gears with its upper level low and storm track here on last night's run. But again, I wouldn't flip-flop by one model or so. If we took a look at the GFS model guidance, well, that's a different story altogether, because as we head into, this looks truncated to me, but it looks like there's still high volatility in this forecast for snowfall along the I-95 corridor and less snow as we get to the coast. And minoring out this because this is the glitch in the model guidance right here showing up. The German ICON model sees the same kind of scenario here with deformation banding and moderate to heavy snow from the I-95 corridor all the way up into New York City, Connecticut, and New York City proper, the Hudson River Valley area as well. Often don't use the UK Met. This is from last night's run. Same kind of scenario here with frontogenetic banding and the moderate to heavy snow from the I-95 corridor, north and south. You get the picture here. Even this model sees it. And of course, the last one that we want to look at that is going to be any kind of relevance is the Canadian model guidance. And let's see if they will pull this up here. This is from 6Z, so it may not go out all the way here. And not too much change. And this looks reasonably good with our event going forward as we head into Monday afternoon. If we went into last night's model run, at 0Z, finishing up at 84. It's going to come up here. It's still filling in here. I'm still loading the page. I guess the wind and everything is affecting my internet today as well. It's probably affecting my head and just about everything else as well. But we'll stick with the weather here. So, let's see what we got. 84 hours, 83 hours here. So Sunday through Tuesday's event really depends on what happens with this 500 millibar low here and the ridge axis with our new storm system coming in off the west coast. I discussed this in the video last night that as this low is beginning to redevelop here and close off at the 500 millibar pattern here as we head into Monday night and Tuesday morning, What kind of precipitation and where is the proximity of the low? Is it right over New Jersey's coastal waters? Is it in the benchmark here? Is it a little bit further south and east? It's going to determine who gets what and how much. The one thing that I did mention yesterday at this time, and this is also showing up in last night's model guidance as it did in yesterday morning's model guidance on the European, is the fact that the energy coming into the west coast is having a large effect on this storm here, which is over here now, and the ridge axis in a positive PNA fashion here, which is this positive ridge here, so this PNA, positive PNA. But if you really wanted to see a real humdinger of a coastal storm here, you would want this ridge axis here to be located here. But that's not really the case. So again, I'm not going to make any wholesale changes to the forecast as of now. Everything that I said last evening holds and stands to this point until we get more RAYOB data from this storm system coming in today off of the west coast. So I'm not making any wholesale changes to the forecast. Last evening I did the major winter video storm forecast on social media. Many people have saw it right now. Well, only 52 views as of last night, but that's pretty significant for a late night viewing, actually, or early morning viewing here. And if you want to visit our YouTube channel, you can do so. It's Garden State Weather, okay, right here. And this is our video discussion from yesterday. So you can look that up. It's on Garden State Weather. Get ready for a major mid-Atlantic winter storm details right here. So that's what that looks like. So you simply go to youtube.com under user or search Garden State Weather, all one word here, and you'll see the latest videos right here, including last night's video. I'm a working man like the rest of us, and social media is just constantly bombarding people with all kinds of questions like how much in my backyard and will it snow here? And listen, folks, I understand. I'm a meteorologist. I understand you just want snow. I can't tell you how much you're going to get right now, and I can't tell you if it's going to mix over in your specific backyard or location. What I can tell you is that I'm pretty confident that you're going to get a winter storm, whether you like it or not. Now, if you want to, you can also do it this way. Instead of posting everything on, my pages here on Facebook when I update, the video forecast discussions and stuff with nonsensical questions to me. I'm like Judge Judy. Let's face it. That's the kind of brain power I have, is like Judge Judy. Don't put up with nonsense. You can email me at gardenstateweather@gmail.com with your questions. That's going to do it for this Friday edition of the video forecast discussion for Everything Live. It's gardenstateweather.com, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You do bundle up out there because it's seriously cold. And also do prepare for a winter storm coming your way, however it comes.